Welcome to Iraqi Dinar News, your trusted source for reliable updates and practical insight on exchanging foreign currencies. If you hold Iraqi dinar or Vietnamese dong and you're uncertain about when or how to proceed, now is the moment to tune in. As global procedures tighten and demand rises, the difference between success and setbacks will depend on how thoroughly you're prepared. Today's update outlines essential actions, from securing appointments to organizing your paperwork, so you'll be ready to act swiftly and with confidence when the time is right. As we move further into the financial climate of 2025, converting exotic currencies such as IQD and VND has shifted into a tightly regulated space. Gone are the days when you could simply walk into a local bank branch and make a quick transaction. Today, banks have adopted strict systems involving scheduled appointments, identity verification, and detailed compliance reviews. For those anticipating a revaluation event, this now feels more like a business-level deal than a basic financial task. Every element, from the quality of your currency to the way you present yourself, will influence the outcome. One of the first priorities is locking in your appointment before the crowd rushes in. The minute new rates or policy changes are announced, banks could face a surge of customer requests. That kind of spike can quickly overload scheduling systems and limit availability. By booking early, you position yourself for faster service, fewer fees, and a smoother experience. Financial institutions respect clients who follow formal procedures, and setting your appointment ahead of time shows you're serious. Not all banks will handle exotic currency exchanges, especially those with smaller or community-focused branches. Many of them have stepped away from such services due to regulatory burdens. Your first step should be identifying which banks or certified redemption centers in your area are equipped and authorized to process IQD and VND. This means contacting their foreign currency departments directly. Ask if they accept these currencies, whether there's a transaction limit, and if advance appointments are mandatory. Doing this will prevent wasted time and ensure you're focusing only on viable locations. Once you've confirmed a participating institution, get that appointment locked in. Scheduling may be done by phone, online forms, or even through the bank's mobile app. Make sure to provide your full legal name, correct contact information, the type of currency, and the total amount you plan to exchange. Errors during this stage could delay or cancel your slot. After booking, ask for written confirmation, whether by email or text. Save that confirmation, take a screenshot, print it out, and keep it accessible in both digital and physical formats. One day before your scheduled exchange, call the bank to reconfirm every detail. Now let's talk about documentation. Showing up without the correct paperwork can stop the process cold. You'll need a valid government-issued ID, such as a driver's license, passport, or national ID card. You'll also need proof of your current address, typically a lease, utility bill, or recent bank statement. Make sure the name and address match across all documents. Even small inconsistencies can trigger delays or force a reschedule. Bring both physical and digital copies of your documents, stored neatly in a folder. This shows professionalism and keeps everything streamlined. These are significant financial transactions, and treating them seriously will affect how you're perceived by staff. The way you present your currency also matters. If your notes are torn, wrinkled, or tossed carelessly into a bag, that creates problems. Take time to flatten the bills, sort them by denomination, and if possible, place them in clear protective sleeves. This helps prevent errors and gives the impression that you've taken this process seriously. Prepare a printout summarizing your holdings. For example, 10 notes of 25,000 IQD equals 250,000 IQD total. This will speed up counting and verification. Equally important is knowing what kind of rate you should expect. Walking in blind can lead to accepting less favorable terms. Always review current mid-sacrament exchange rates from reliable financial sources before your appointment. Remember, banks typically apply a 2-3% markup to those rates. While some institutions won't allow negotiation, Having accurate benchmarks gives you a point of reference, and in some cases it might help you secure a better deal, especially if you're exchanging larger sums. On the day of your exchange, arrive 15 to 20 minutes early. Dress in business casual, carry all your materials, ID, documents, appointment confirmation, sorted currency, and any logs you've created. You're not a walk-in customer here, you're executing a large financial operation. How you carry yourself matters. Once inside, the bank will verify your identification, review your paperwork, and inspect your currency. Stay alert, remain calm, and ask questions when needed. You'll be shown the final rate, associated fees, and the exact amount you'll receive. Review each figure carefully. Double-check that your name is spelled correctly and that all totals match. If the funds are being deposited into your account, ask for a clear timeline. Most large transactions have a holding period ranging from 24 to 72 hours. When your transaction is complete, request a printed summary or receipt. This is your official record. Keep it safe. You may need it for future reference, tax filing, or financial tracking. Now that you've completed the exchange process at your bank or redemption center, it's time to shift your focus to what comes next. Many investors believe the hard part ends after walking out with a receipt or seeing funds in their account. But in reality, the post-exchange period is where your actions can either safeguard or sabotage your outcome. The first thing you'll want to do is create a secure and well-documented record of the transaction. Make both digital and paper copies of your receipt and back them up in multiple places. You might also want to store a scanned version in a cloud-based vault or encrypted USB drive for future access. Should the IRS or any other authority question the origin of your funds, this documentation becomes essential. Next, start reviewing the immediate tax implications. If the exchange yielded significant returns, those funds are likely subject to federal and possibly state capital gains taxes. Consult a licensed tax advisor, ideally someone familiar with currency conversions. They can help you estimate what percentage to set aside and advise on options to offset the tax burden. Some individuals create LLCs or utilize tax-deferred investment vehicles like solo 401k to legally manage large sums. The key is to act early and not wait until next year's tax season to scramble for solutions. Also be aware that banks often report large currency exchanges to federal agencies. In most cases, any transaction involving $10,000, 0 cents or more, triggers an automatic report through IRS Form 8300 or related banking compliance tools. This doesn't mean you've done anything wrong, it simply means your activity crossed a reporting threshold. Again, this is why maintaining a paper trail is essential. Your transparency now could shield you from costly misunderstandings down the road. Now let's talk about where to store your exchanged funds. Avoid keeping large balances in a single checking account unless absolutely necessary. Instead, consider spreading your assets between a combination of high-yield savings, brokerage accounts, or even short-term CDs. Diversifying helps reduce exposure and improves financial control. If you're planning to reinvest, work with a fiduciary advisor who understands your financial goals, risk tolerance, and tax strategy. Don't rush into speculative investments just because you're newly liquid. Smart deployment of those funds over time will yield far greater stability than quick, high-risk plays. It's also critical to avoid making major purchases immediately after an exchange. You might feel the urge to celebrate or reward yourself, but large, traceable purchases like luxury cars, watches, or real estate could raise red flags with both the IRS and your financial institutions. If you do choose to spend, do so strategically and in consultation with your advisor. Some people place large sums in escrow or through trust-managed accounts to avoid unnecessary scrutiny while still maintaining control of their assets. Let's not overlook estate planning either. If your financial position has changed significantly, your previous will or trust may no longer reflect your reality. Meet with an estate attorney to update beneficiaries, create or adjust living trusts, and assign power of attorney. This protects your wealth and ensures your family isn't burdened by legal confusion in the future. Your financial legacy is part of this journey. Don't leave it to chance. Looking ahead, don't be surprised if the revaluation event creates ripple effects across markets. If rates begin to climb globally, currencies like the Iraqi dinar may start being discussed in mainstream media, potentially attracting broader scrutiny. You may even see online groups, forums, or influencers pushing new narratives or services to help you maximize gains. Treat these with caution. Most of the truly valuable insights will come from licensed professionals, not internet personalities or secret Telegram groups. This brings us to perhaps the most underestimated strategy: staying quiet. Financial discretion isn't just about humility, it's about safety. Once others learn you've come into unexpected money, it can change relationships, attract scams, or make you a target for unsolicited offers. Keep your plans to yourself. Limit financial discussions to your CPA, attorney, or immediate family members you absolutely trust. Silence is not weakness, it's wisdom. Before we conclude, it's worth revisiting the expectation versus reality gap that many currency holders face. A revaluation does not guarantee a windfall for every participant. If the rate shift is $0, 10 cents per IQD, then 1 million IQD equals $100,000, 0 cents. On paper, but after capital gains tax, possible fees, and timing decisions, your take-home may be closer to $60,000, 0 cents, $70,000, 0 cents. That's still significant, but it reinforces the need for solid planning. Don't let internet hype cloud the reality of your personal situation. Base your financial moves on facts, not fantasies. In closing, remember this journey is bigger than any single exchange. It's about long-term financial clarity and positioning yourself for greater opportunities ahead. You've already done the hard part by holding, researching, and staying patient. Now finish strong by planning, protecting, and executing each step with intelligence and foresight. If today's update from Iraqi Dinar News gave you clarity, consider sharing it with someone who may benefit. We'll continue bringing you verified information and expert-backed insight to help you make the most of your journey. Subscribe, stay vigilant, and let wisdom, not urgency, guide your decisions. Your future isn't shaped by luck, it's shaped by the preparation you choose today.